Thank you very much indeed. Hello, I'm Alexander Armstrong, and welcome to Pointless, the show where the aim of the game is to avoid the obvious answers and find the obscure ones. Let's meet today's players. And couple number one.
I'm Shay, this is my dad Chris, and we're from Sheffield.
Couple number two.
Hi, my name's Dave, this is my sister Natalie, and we're from Sudbury in Suffolk.
Couple number three.
My name's Kevin, this is my lovely wife Sarah, and we're both from Jersey.
And finally, couple number four.
Hi, I'm Carol, this is my husband Tom, and we're from Buckinghamshire.
And these are today's contestants. Thank you very much, all of you. A very, very warm welcome to Pointless. It's wonderful to have you all here. That just leaves one more person for me to introduce. She's voiced everything from superhero cartoons to risque dating shows, and now she's lending her dulcet tones to our highbrow facting, confusing a raft of viewers who are now expecting to see superhuman feats or outrageous flirting. I reserve both for Pointless late night. It's my Pointless friend. It is Desirée Burch.
Yes, thank you, Xander.
Hey.
Some Pointless after dark. I mean, interestingly, both Too Hot to Handle and Pointless reward people who don't score very much.
There you are. Very nice indeed. It's great to have you back.
It's great to be back. Thank you so much.
Well, fabulous. Now, Una and Janelle, they were outstanding in the last show, got through to the final. They not only won the jackpot, they had 3 pointless answers, so they won the little jackpot bonus as well. So that means our jackpot today starts off at £1,000. Right, if everyone's ready, let's play Pointless. There is only one rule to Pointless, and you have to remember this. The pair with the highest score at the end of each round gets eliminated. So keep your scores as low as you possibly can, and everything will be terrific. Best of luck to everybody. Our first category today is American geography. Can you all decide in your pairs who wants to go first, who wants to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, let's find out what the question is. Here it comes. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many US states and state capitals whose second letter is a consonant as they could, Desirée.
Yes. We are looking for the name of any U.S. state or state capital that has a consonant as its second letter. That is, the second letter in the spelling of its name is not one of the letters A, E, I, O, or U. Please give us an answer that you think the fewest number of people in our poll of 100 knew.
Thank you very much indeed. Now, Chris, welcome to Pointless. It's terrific to have you here. Tell us all about yourself, Chris.
I'm a musician and a music practitioner, which means I create music with young people in quite vulnerable circumstances.
Very good. So what instruments do you play, Chris?
I play the double bass, I play the drums, I play the guitar, keyboards, I play...
You play everything?
Well,
it's got all the instruments.
No
Any wind
brass.
instruments?
I don't play the brass.
And for fun, I guess music probably features across the board, does it?
Music, filmmaking, climbing... I like adventuring.
Wow, climbing, yes. Yeah. Good for you. Now, Chris, what about these American states or state capitals?
Ohio?
Ohio, says Chris. Shall we find out how many of our 100 said? Ohio. Ohio is right. And down goes Ohio to 28. Great start to the round. Well done.
Yes, fantastic start with Ohio. One of the earliest known motorized police cars came into service in Ohio. Akron Police Department bought an electrically powered wagon in the 1890s. It had a top speed of 18 miles an hour.
Thank you very much indeed. Natalie, welcome back.
Hello.
It hasn't escaped my notice this is your third show.
It is, yeah.
Oh, there must be things you haven't told us.
I have a very, well, I think it's a very strange phobia. Umphilophobia.
Umphilophobia?
Yeah. It's a fear of belly buttons.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, no, my wife has that.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was called something as groovy as
a lot of people think it's fear of Oompa Loompas, but it's, it's a
wow.
fear.
No, I can
only
believe
discovered it in my adult years.
Yes.
Where many of my pregnant friends would send me pictures of their belly buttons or chase me around with their pregnant... Yeah.
Yeah, you suddenly go,
Even talking about it now is...
Oh, I'm sorry.
Not nice.
No, OK, well, no,
nice.
we'll move on to state capitals and states.
Right, I'm going to go for Illinois.
Illinois, says Natalie. Shall we see how many of our 100 said Illinois? Illinois is right. Well, 28 for Ohio. Is it going to be higher or lower than 28? Let's find out. Lower than Ohio. Down it goes to 12. Very well done indeed.
Yes, extraordinarily well done, Natalie, with Illinois. Casey in Illinois is home to some of the world's biggest objects. Jim Bolin initially broke the record for the world's largest mailbox. He then decided to build other big things, going on to break records for the biggest golf tee, the biggest pitchfork, the biggest rocking chair, and the biggest wind chime.
Wow, and the biggest attention seeker.
Yes, exactly.
There we are. Thank you very much indeed. Now then, Kevin, welcome back.
Hello.
Here from Jersey. Tell us more about yourself, Kevin.
When we both went to college in Ilkley in West Yorkshire, while I was staying there, my halls of residence, we went back several years later and there was a blue plaque outside my front window, so I thought I'd been honoured.
Here lived Kevin.
Here lived Kevin for 1 year, but
Yes.
it was Sir Charles Darwin who, well, once Origin of the Species had been published, he effectively hid out there.
He hid out in Ilkley.
Yeah.
But what a
In
lovely
building
place
called
to
Hillside.
be.
So-
Oh, I love Ilkley. Very nice indeed. Now, Kevin, we are on this state and state capital question. What are you thinking of?
I'm going to go for Wyoming.
Wyoming. See, these are all very clever answers. Let's see where Wyoming ends up. Wyoming. 28 our high score and you pass it, 12 our low score and you don't quite join Illinois. I thought Wyoming was a very clever answer for so many reasons.
Extraordinarily clever, but I think everyone thinks they're probably like, oh, no one's going to get Wyoming.
Yeah, maybe
yes,
that
yes,
was it,
because
but-
of that why. Wyoming is famous for many things, but probably top of the list is Yellowstone National Park, which is mostly in Wyoming.
Thank you very much indeed. Now then, Carol, welcome back to Pointless. Also your third show. Tell us more about yourself, Carol.
I like music, so I do try and go to concerts if I can do.
Very good indeed. We discovered last time that you're about to go on a cruise. Carol's very nervous about this. Having been in the Air Force, you don't have happy memories of being afloat. Where's the cruise going to take you?
I start off in Florida and then round Central America and then back to Florida.
Oh, that's going to be amazing.
Yeah, it will be.
It's going to be lovely. And if you do happen to be in the briny, which you might be for leisure purposes, it'll be lovely and warm. So there you are. Carol, what are you going to go for?
I am going to go for Arkansas.
Arkansas. Arkansas, says Carol. Let's see how many of our 100 said Arkansas. Arkansas, absolutely right. Well, 28 is still our high score. Don't know what Ohio did to deserve that. Down it goes to 15. Arkansas, well done.
Yes, Arkansas. I mean, I was surprised that as many people thought of Arkansas as that, but I guess Bill Clinton is from there, and so maybe they remembered that.
Thank you very much indeed. Well, we're halfway through the round. Let's have a quick look at those scores. 12, Natalie, very well done indeed. The best score of the past, then up from 12 to 14, where we find Kevin and Sarah. Up from there to 15, where we find Carol and Tom. And up there, I don't understand this any more than you do, Chris and Che, but you're on 28. Che, that puts a little bit of a load on your shoulders. Good luck with that when we come back to you. We're going to come back down the line now. Will the second players please step up to the podium? So there we are. We are looking for any US state or state capital whose second letter is a consonant. Tom, welcome back. Tell us more about yourself, Tom.
Well, I'm a member of the French Soirée Society,
This sounds terrific.
which is a select band of members
Yes.
who are all guys who went to school with me or in the Air Training Corps with me.
Yes.
We've known each other over 60 years, and every year we go off to Europe in various places. So hence we became the French Soirée Society.
This is terrific. Now, Tom, you are on 15, which means a score of 12 or less would get you straight into round 2.
I'm not sure about this, but I'm going to go with Atlanta.
Atlanta, says Tom. Here is your red line. Where do we end up with Atlanta? Atlanta is right. No, it's looking good. Looking very good. Very good indeed. Back through you go. 7, the best score so far, Tom. Very well done indeed. Taking your total up to 22.
Yes, for not being very sure, you did fantastic with Atlanta. Atlanta has had other names before Atlanta. It was called Marthasville in honor of a former governor's daughter. It was also known as Terminus, as it was the terminus of the Western and Atlantic Railroad line.
Thank you very much indeed, Sarah. Now, welcome back. Terrific to have you with us again. Tell us more about yourself, Sarah.
I think I mentioned last time that we like hiking, and several years ago now we were backpacking in Yosemite National Park in the States. And I had a very close encounter with either a black or a brown bear. The significance of that, knowing the difference, is that for one, you're supposed to make a lot of noise,
Yes.
and for the other, you get silent.
Silent.
And I couldn't recognise the difference between a black and brown bear, and I couldn't remember, and still can't remember,
which one you're meant to do with which.
Exactly.
So what did you do?
I made a lot of noise.
I think I would have made a lot of noise as I ran away. That's probably, and I'm not sure that would have been a conscious decision. It would just be what I did, I think.
Exactly.
Anyway, you're here. You live to tell the tale.
I am, yes. It looked at me with disdain and sauntered off.
And that was it.
Yes.
Now, Sarah, you are on 14, which means 13 or less
Yes.
gets you into round 2.
Well, coming from Jersey, I'm going to go for what I think is the state capital of New Jersey and say Trenton.
Trenton, says Sarah. This has low score written all over it. I think. There is your red line. Let's see if it's right. Trenton. It is right. It does have low score written all over it because it is a pointless answer. Very, very well done indeed. Being a pointless answer, it adds £250 to today's jackpot, taking the total up to £1,250. Scores you nothing, leaves your total at 14, gets you into round 2. Superb.
Yes, well done. And for those who are from New Jersey, sometimes considered a pointless place, but I'll leave that to those who live there to debate.
Thank you very much indeed, Desiree. Now then, Dave,
Hello.
welcome back. Tell us more about yourself, Dave.
My name's Dave, I'm from Suffolk, and sort of my mini claim to fame was I was once in a toilets in a Las Vegas hotel. This isn't going somewhere.
This is going straight up
and
to
I
the
suddenly
upper
become aware
echelons.
that the guy on my left had a bodyguard with him. So
Right.
obviously I didn't want to make eye contact with a guy standing next to me at the toilet.
So where did the bodyguard stand when, in a scenario
He stood
like that?
sort of between where we'd be standing here now, so I didn't want to look. And
Sometimes the bodyguards stand in that way that might suggest
They
they're
did.
also...
Absolutely. Anyway, he had the baseball cap on, this guy, and when we came out, it was a bit of a hullabaloo outside the toilet,
Yeah.
and it was Danny DeVito.
Wow.
And we had a photograph taken outside the toilet with him, so, yeah.
That is hilarious.
It's always my go-to story.
That's brilliant. Danny DeVito. Dave, you're on 12. 15 or less gets you into the next round.
OK, I've got a couple of answers. I think I'm going to go for Idaho.
Idaho, says Dave, gets a big nod from Chris. Let's see how many of our 100 said Idaho. Here is your red line. Idaho, absolutely right. Down and down and down it goes. Oh, stops on 17, taking your total up to 29.
Not too bad there with Idaho. Idaho is well known as the home of the potato, even though we all know potatoes come from lots of places. Idaho is home to a potato museum, however, that houses a potato crisp, which the museum claims is the biggest ever made, measuring 23 inches by 14.5 inches. I mean, that's one crisp for the table, I think, right? Does everyone just gnaw on that until they get tired of crisps?
Do. Those are some terrifyingly big potatoes.
Yeah, seriously, I would have, I mean, if you saw that growing in the garden, I would have gotten someone to come out and deal with it.
I'd have gone running. I'm joining Sarah running away from the bear.
Making all kinds of noise.
Che, welcome to Pointless.
Hi.
Great to have you here. Tell us all about yourself.
I'm a 25-year-old man, and I'm a freelance graphic designer and animator.
Very good indeed. So what sort of design have you done?
So I work on motion graphics for the title sequence for films and TV series.
Brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. Che, you are on 28. This is very exciting. We are looking for a pointless answer from you. A pointless answer. I bet you've got a good pointless answer. So, yes, we're looking for a US state or a state capital whose second letter is a consonant.
Alaska.
Alaska, says Che. Shall we find out if Alaska is a pointless answer? Because that is what it will have to be. We'll have to imagine a red line, because it's so low, it's not quite appearing on the column. But Alaska, let's see where we end up with that. It's right. Down and down and down it goes. Yay! 25 for Alaska, taking your total up to 53.
Yes, unfortunately, not pointless. However, Alaska does have the most glaciers in the United States. Alaska's Bering Glacier is also the largest glacier in the United States. It is about 126 miles long and covers an area of more than 1,900 square miles. Now, there were only 8 pointless answers, and they were all state capitals. You could have had Annapolis, Maryland, Charleston, West Virginia, Cheyenne in Wyoming, Frankfort in Kentucky, Oklahoma City in Oklahoma, and Olympia in Washington, Providence in Rhode Island, and finally, of course, Trenton, New Jersey, which Sarah from Old Jersey gave us very correctly.
Thank you very much indeed, Desiree. That brings us to the end of our first round. Means we have to say goodbye to our first pair, Che and Chris. You've only just got here. I can't bear it. We're saying goodbye already, but we'll see you next time. We're looking forward to that. But Che and Chris, thank you very much indeed. For the remaining three pairs, now time for round two. Well done, everybody. We came through that first round unscathed, in fact. Not just unscathed, but a pointless answer. So very well done. Our lowest individual scorer, Kevin and Sarah, also our lowest combined scorers. So fantastic work there from our Jersey couple on the middle podium. Best of luck to all three pairs. Our category for round two today is Art in Translation. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, and the question concerns famous paintings and their artists' languages. Desiree.
Yes, it does, Xander. On each board, we're going to show you the English titles of 6 famous works of art. But we've changed one word in each title to be in the language of its artist. We'll also tell you the names of the artists and their languages. Please translate the words in the titles that are in foreign languages back into English and tell us the one that the fewest of our 100 people knew. Note that we're telling you the artist's language, which is not necessarily the same thing as the artist's nationality.
There we are. Here is our first board of 6. The Nacht Watch by Rembrandt van Rijn, Dutch. Cisnes, Reflecting Elephants by Salvador Dali, Spanish. The Kuss by Gustav Klimt, German. The Great Nami of Kanagawa by Katsushika Hokusai, Japanese. The Fils of Man by René Magritte, French. And The Creazione of Adam by Michelangelo, Italian. There we are, Dave. Which of those would you like to go for?
I don't think my D in GCSE art is going to come in very handy here, but I think the bottom one, I'm going to go with The Creation of Adam.
The Creation of Adam, says Dave. Let's see how many of our 100 said creation. Creation is right. And down it takes us to 52. Well done.
Yes, not too bad for the D in GCSE art there, Dave. The Creazione, or Creation of Adam, forms part of the Sistine Chapel ceiling. Michelangelo never wanted to paint the Sistine Chapel ceiling. He knew it would be very difficult, and he preferred to work as a sculptor anyway. He eventually agreed after pressure from Pope Julius II. Because I guess if the Pope is leaning on you, you probably just do it.
I guess you just say I'm scared of heights. There we go. Thank you very much indeed. Now, Sarah.
I think I'll go for the Feast of Man, which I think is the Son of Man.
The Son of Man, says Sarah. Let's see how many of our 100 said Son of Man. Son is right. Well, 52 is the only score we have at the moment, and Son passes that down to 20. Very well done.
Yes, Feast is indeed Son, the Son of Man by Magritte. Magritte was a French-speaking Belgian, and the Son of Man is well known as the bowler-hatted man's face is obscured by a green apple. It's a self-portrait, so Magritte is the man behind the apple.
There we go. Thank you very much indeed. Now, Carol, you're the last person to have this board. Would you like to fill in all our blanks?
I'd like to, but I can't. I'm going to have to go for the obvious one and say the Night Watch.
OK, the Nacht Watch, Night Watch. Shall we see how many of our 100 said night? Night is right. 52 is our high score, 62 for Nacht.
Yes. Rembrandt van Rijn's The Night Watch is in the Rijksmuseum in Amsterdam, and its Dutch title is De Nachtwacht. It's a massive canvas, and the figures are almost life-size. Xander, I am going to ask you for 2 of these, but
Okay.
one of them I know because I know it as Der Kuss. It's The Kiss by Gustav Klimt. So that one I know, and that one was our next highest scorer at 45. But these ones are going to be quite niche, and I know you're well-traveled.
Japanese one, that's like a wave, I think, a nami, isn't it? Like tsunami, nami.
That is correct. So the Great Wave would have gotten you 11 points, and that last one is our lowest score, but not pointless. Do you know what it is?
I think I do. Cisnes. I think of cygnets, swans. Swans reflecting elephants.
You are correct. Swans reflecting elephants by Salvador Dali would have scored only 6 points.
Thank you very much indeed. We are halfway through the round. Let's have a quick look at those scores. I can tell you 20, the best score of the past. Well done, Sarah and Kevin. Sticking with this low scoring thing. Very impressive indeed. Then we travel from there to 52, where we find Dave and Natalie. And they're up to our other third show pair, Carol and Tom, on 62. Tom, you'll get the new board. Find a lovely low score on that. Otherwise, we'll have to say goodbye to you at the end of this round. Good luck with that. We're going to come back down the line now. Will the second players please step up to the podium? Let's put 6 more clues to famous paintings and their artists' languages on the board. Here they are. We have The Nascita of Venus by Sandro Botticelli, Italian. Meisha with a Pearl Earring by Johannes Vermeer, Dutch. The Dos Fridas by Frida Kahlo, Spanish. The Radeau of the Medusa by Théodore Géricault, French. Wanderer Above the Sea of Nebel by Caspar David Friedrich, German. And The Skrik by Edvard Munch, Norwegian. There we are, Tom.
Just hesitating.
You hesitate away. Hesitate away.
I'm going to have to go for an obvious one, I think. The third one down, the 2 Fridas.
OK, 2 for the 2 Fridas. Dos, 2. How many of our 100 said 2? I'm afraid there's no red line for you, as you are our high scorers. That goes down to 34, Tom, taking your total up to 96.
Yes, if only we could have gotten Dos on that one, but a lot of people know Spanish and Frida Kahlo. Artist Frida Kahlo was Mexican, and Kahlo taught herself to paint while recovering from a motor accident in 1925. She referred to her stormy relationship with husband muralist Diego Rivera as the second accident of her life.
Thank you very much indeed, Desiree. Now, Kevin, you are on 20. Fabulous low scoring from Sarah in the first pass. Means that if you can score 75 or less, you are into the head-to-head.
Just 3 I know, but I think they're probably the 3 most obvious ones. I'll go for the top one, The Birth of Venus.
The Birth of Venus. Let's see how many of our 100 spotted The Birth of Venus. Here is your red line. Birth of Venus is right. And it gets you through to the head-to-head. Very well done indeed. Down it goes to 23. Well done, Kevin. Takes your total up to 43.
Yes, beautiful work there. Born Alessandro Filippetti, and Botticelli is a nickname meaning little barrel. The Birth of Venus, painted in the late 15th century, depicts a naked woman with long hair standing on a giant scallop shell, which sounds delicious, mostly for the scallops.
Thanks very much indeed. Now, Natalie, there you are. You're on 52. 43 or less gets you into the head-to-head.
I'm not going to lie, I haven't got a clue. Don't know any one at all, so I'm going to have a guess.
OK.
Girl with a pearl earring, I have no idea.
Girl with a pearl earring says, Natalie, here is your red line. Let's see what happens when we say girl with a pearl earring. It's absolutely right. Very well done indeed, Natalie. Takes you to 56. Doesn't get you through, but it's right. Takes your total up to 108.
I mean, Natalie, that wasn't terrible for someone who didn't have a clue about anyone. You pulled that right out of the collective consciousness. Vermeer lived and worked in Delft in the Netherlands all his life. He and his wife, Catharina, had 15 children. So the girl with the pearl earring could have been any of them, really. So, Xander, I know that you're an expert at all of these. Would you please walk us through the board?
I can give you 2 of them. I can give you the scream, the bottom, which is the Munch.
Yes, and an emoji. That's 44, yes.
And I can give you the raft of the Medusa.
Which would have scored only 4. The only thing remaining is our lowest answer on the board, which is not pointless, but Wanderer Above the Sea of Fog is what Nebel is by Caspar David Friedrich. That would have scored only 1 point.
There we are. Thank you very much indeed. That brings us to the end of our second round. It means we have to say goodbye to Natalie and Dave. We send you back to Suffolk. I'm afraid not with a pointless trophy. But it's been great having you on the show. Thank you so much for coming to play, Natalie and Dave. For the remaining 2 pairs, though, it's now time for the head-to-head. Congratulations, Kevin and Sarah, Tom and Carol. You are now 1 step closer to the final and a chance to play for our jackpot, which currently stands at £1,250. But before we play the head-to-head, let's see if we can't find a couple of pointless answers to throw some more money into that jackpot. Here goes. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many species of woodpecker as they could, Desiree.
Yes, because why not?
Why not?
Yes, so on the board you will see 6 options. 4 are the names of species of woodpecker, 2 of which are scoring and 2 of which are pointless, and 2 that are not a species of woodpecker at all. £250 go into the jackpot for each pointless answer.
Thank you very much indeed. So, can you find the pointless woodpeckers from these 6? Acorn woodpecker, bearded woodpecker, knothead woodpecker, mango woodpecker, melancholy woodpecker, powerful woodpecker.
Do you know any?
Any?
None.
No.
No? In which case, Kevin and Sarah, I'm coming straight to
Just
you.
have a
then.
guess.
That's kind of cutesy. I'll go for the knothead woodpecker.
Should we go for the knothead? Should we see if that is a pointless woodpecker, the knothead? Oh, no. Bad luck, Tom and Carol. Do you want to see if you can pick a pointless woodpecker?
OK. Let's go for the melancholy woodpecker.
Shall we go for the melancholy? It's been a long time since we've had a pointless answer in this bonus round. Let's see if we can find one now. Ooh. Well, the melancholy is a woodpecker. Hey! There we are. Fabulous.
Yes, beautiful. Well, I can tell you, obviously, the knothead woodpecker is Woody Woodpecker's nephew, which is maybe how that one came to mind. Our other red herring on the board was the mango woodpecker, which is also not a species of woodpecker. There are hummingbirds, however, that are called mangoes. I can tell you that acorn woodpecker and bearded woodpecker are both scorers. Acorn would have scored you 5 points, and bearded would have scored you 1 point, which means our other pointless answer is the powerful woodpecker, a pointless woodpecker that is found in South America.
There, thank you very much indeed. And well done, you managed to find a pointless answer, which means we can add £250 to the jackpot, taking the total up to an altogether more satisfactory £1,500. But who'll be playing for it? Well, let's find out in a head-to-head. Now, the first pair to win 2 questions will be playing for that jackpot. You're now allowed to confer. Best of luck to both pairs. Here is our first question. And it is all about words that rhyme with moon.
Yes, we are going to show you 5 pictures of things that all rhyme with the word moon. We'll also give you the first and the last letters of their names. Please tell us the pictured thing that the fewest of our 100 people recognized. And good luck to you if you're playing along at home.
Thank you very much indeed. So let's reveal our 5 things that rhyme with moon. And we have A, C, N. B, R, E. C, B, N. D, S, N. And E, S, N. There we are. Kevin and Sarah will go first.
Okay. We'll go with B, rune.
B, rune, say Kevin and Sarah. Now then, Tom and Carol.
Don't know, D. That's the one we need to know. Let's go with cocoon.
You're going to go with cocoon for A. So we have rune and cocoon. Kevin and Sarah went for rune. Let's see how many of our 100 said that for B. Rune is right. Rune down to 44. Meanwhile, Tom and Carol have gone for cocoon for A. Let's see how many of our 100 said cocoon. Cocoon is right. 69 for cocoon. Very well done indeed, Kevin and Sarah. After one question, you're up 1-0.
Yes, and very well done. If you could not have gotten rune, then cocoon was the next best scoring answer at 69. You probably know all of the missing answers,
I think
Xander.
I do, yes. E is spoon.
Yes.
I'm
What
guessing
do you
that'll
think
be...
that scored?
I would imagine in the 90s.
It scored 100. There
Perfect.
wasn't a single person who just lost the plot and thought that was a shovel.
C is baboon.
And that scored 79. So again, quite a high round. But the one everyone wished they knew was D, and I know that you know it.
I'm guessing is a spittoon.
And you are correct. 8.
I didn't know that's what spittoons looked like.
Yes.
Yeah, very well done, spittoon. Right, well, here comes your second question. Tom and Carol, you get to answer it first. You've got to win it to stay in the game. Our second question is all about tennis lefties. Desiree.
Yes. We are now going to show you the names of tennis players, past and present, who play predominantly with their left hands. However, each of their first name and surnames has been rearranged into alphabetical order. Please identify the most obscure player.
Thank you very much indeed. So can you unpick these alphabetized anagrams of these tennis players? And we have Ebert Aikotv, Efter Adeln, Achimno Ils, Agnor Esinsv, and Ijmi Knurs. There we are. Tom and Carol will go first. Yes, it is helpful, isn't it?
It's really, I hate these.
Jimmy Connors.
Yeah. Oh, Monica Seles. Do you know any of the others? We're going to go the third one down as Monica Seles.
Monica Seles for the third one down, say Tom and Carol. Now then, Kevin and Sarah, can you talk us through that board?
No. I don't know the bottom one. We're in the bottom one, so go for Jimmy Connors.
You're going to go for Jimmy Connors. So we have Monica Seles and Jimmy Connors. Tom and Carol went for Monica Seles. How many of our 100 said that? Monica Seles, very well spotted there. And that takes us down to 8. Now, Kevin and Sarah have gone for Jimmy Connors at the bottom. How many of our 100 spotted that one? Jimmy Connors is right, and yeah, that's a high score. And it means, well done, Tom and Carol, you're back in the game after 2 questions. It's 1-1.
Yes, Monica Seles saves the day. Well identified there. And yes, Jimmy Connors was the highest scorer on our board. Our next highest scoring answer is the second one, which is Rafael Nadal, who scored 15 points. Then after that, our top answer is Petra Kvitova, who would have only scored you 3 points. But our lowest scorer is Goran Ivanisevic, who would have only scored you 1 point.
There we are. Thank you very much indeed. OK, it all comes down to this third question. Whoever wins this one goes through to the final and plays for that jackpot. Best of luck to both pairs. Our third question is all about computer programming languages. Desiree.
Yes. So for this, we are going to show you 5 clues to things that all share their names with programming languages used in computing. Please tell us the answer you think the fewest of our 100 people knew.
Thank you very much indeed. So let's reveal our 5 computer programming clues. And we have several types of snake, including the reticulated species, which can be over 30 feet long. P, large island in the Malay archipelago, part of Indonesia, and an American term for coffee. J, 17th century French mathematician, physicist, and philosopher, also the SI unit of pressure. P, adjective meaning fundamental, essential, or simple. B, and first name of the Belfast-born singer whose name is rhyming slang for curry. R. There we are. Now then, Kevin and Sarah will go first.
Go for the second one as Java.
Java, say Kevin and Sarah. Now then, Tom and Carol, can you talk us through the board?
The top one, did you say Python?
Python, yeah.
Top one is Python. Pressure. What's the unit of pressure?
Can't remember. It's
Can't
gone.
remember. We'll go with the last one and say Ruby.
Ruby, you're going to say, so we have Java versus Ruby. Now, Kevin and Sarah went for Java for the coffee. Let's see how many of our 100 said Java. Java is right. Java takes us down to 32. Meanwhile, Tom and Carol have gone for Ruby for the Belfast-born singer. Let's see how many of our 100 said Ruby. Ruby is right. And it beats Java just by one. Look at that, 31 for Ruby. Very well done indeed. That means, Tom and Carol, after 3 questions, you're through to the final 2-1.
Yes, really well done there, Tom and Carol. There were only a few answers on the board that would have got you in under Java's 32, and Ruby was one of them. You well avoided our top scoring answer, which is number 1. The language is Python, which would have scored you 65 points. And of the 2, are you very familiar with computing languages there?
I mean, I'm not familiar with computing language, but Pascal is the pressure unit.
Yes, and that was our lowest score on the board at 12.
And BASIC is what we all had to learn back in the 1980s.
Exactly. When computers were the size of the whole wall, we all learned BASIC, which would have scored you 44 points.
Thank you very much. Well, the pair leaving us at the end of the head-to-head round, Kevin and Sarah. That means you come back for a 3rd show, which is terrific news for us. But thank you so much for playing, Kevin and Sarah. For Tom and Carol, now time for the Pointless Final. Ooh, congratulations, Tom and Carol. You fought off all the competition and you have won our coveted Pointless trophy. You now have a chance to win our Pointless jackpot, and at the end of today's show, the jackpot is standing at £1,500. Well, very well done. You contributed to our jackpot. You found a pointless answer in the bonus round. What would you like to see come up on the board?
I'm not bad at history or
you'll be
the
good
Royal
at
Air
history.
Force. Royal Air Force would be a good one.
For you, yeah. Yeah.
But
history
as it comes, we'll deal with it.
OK, well, let's see. 4 options for you. Bristol Trip Hop, ferry services in the Scottish Islands, Fiddler on the Roof, gymnastics at the Olympic Games since 2000.
Let's do Bristol Trip Hop.
No, let's go Fiddler on the Roof.
Yes, ma'am.
Fiddler on the Roof, please.
Fiddler on the Roof it is.
Always follow the boss.
Best of luck. For this round, we're looking for the name of anyone credited with an acting role in the 1971 film Fiddler on the Roof, according to IMDb.com, or we are looking for the title of any track on the original soundtrack recording of the 1971 film Fiddler on the Roof. Very best of luck to you in the studio and to everyone playing along at home.
Thank you very much. Now, as always, you've got up to 1 minute to come up with 3 answers. All you need to win that jackpot is for just one of those answers to be pointless. Are you ready?
Yes.
OK, let's put 60 seconds up on the clock. There they are. Your time starts now.
OK.
If I Were a Rich Man, it's the only... But everyone will know that.
Yeah.
Also, the guy who sang it was a European chap whose name I can't remember. I think we just grabbed somebody who might have been around at that time.
Go on, then.
1971, actor, singer.
I don't know, I haven't got a clue.
OK, let's go for Rita Tushingham.
Right.
We'll do what was the other one I told you?
If I Was a Rich Man.
If I Were a Rich Man. And another...
Do you know any of the songs from it?
No. And the other one, we've got 17 seconds. Let's go for an actor.
An actor.
10 seconds left.
Give me a famous old actor. John Mills.
OK.
Don't know.
Don't know.
Don't know.
OK. There we are. The minute is up. Your agony is over. What 3 answers can you give me?
OK, we'll go for the song, first of all. If I Were a Rich Man.
If I Were a Rich Man.
We'll go for John Mills.
John Mills.
And Rita Tushingham.
And Rita Tushingham in the first category. OK. Of those 3, which is your best shot at a pointless answer?
None of them, but Rita Tushingham, perhaps.
OK, we'll put Rita Tushingham last. Least likely to be pointless?
John Mills.
John Mills. And then If I Were a Rich Man goes in the middle.
Yeah.
OK, well, let's put those answers up on the board in that order, and here they are. We have John Mills, If I Were a Rich Man, and Rita Tushingham. Well, 3 answers. You never know. One of them might turn out to be correct and pointless. What would you like to do with £1,500 if you won it?
We need some new garden furniture. Ours is falling to pieces.
Perfect. That'd be a perfect use for it. There we are. OK, now, John Mills was your first answer. We're looking for the cast of the film Fiddler on the Roof. Let's see how many of our 100 people said John Mills. Is it right?
Booth.
Not John Mills. Let us turn to your second answer. If I Were a Rich Man, in this case, we were looking for tracks on the original motion picture soundtrack. Let's see how many of our 100 people said If I Were a Rich Man. Might it be pointless? Well, it's right. £1,500 is yours. If this goes all the way down to 0, we go down below 50. We're in the bottom half. In the bottom quarter, 23 for If I Were a Rich Man. Not a pointless answer. So we now turn to your third and final answer, Rita Tushingham. This is the one you put last. You thought this might be your best shot of the ones you didn't really know. But let's see, Rita Tushingham, might that be correct? Might it be pointless? No.
That's
Bad luck.
surprise.
Oh, well, I mean, it was a really, really tough board there. And you made a game effort there with Fiddler on the Roof, but I'm afraid you haven't managed to win the jackpot today. But you have won our pointless trophy. So very, very well done indeed for that.
Thank you.
Yes, well done indeed. It was also a good idea to guess the names of actors who were around at that time as well, but sadly, it didn't pay off in this particular instance. There will probably be some names that you do recognize here, so let's look at some of them. So, for the cast of Fiddler on the Roof, you could have had Michelle Marsh, Paul Mann, Roger Lloyd Pack, better known as Trigger from Only Fools and Horses, and Ruth Maddock, the Heidi High star, played a ghost in one of her earliest screen roles. There were lots more pointless answers here. In fact, everyone was pointless apart from the following cast members who all would have scored points. That is Topple, Leonard Frey, Norma Crane, Paul Michael Glazer, who was Starsky from Starsky and Hutch, Molly Picon, and Rosalind Harris. Moving on to tracks on the original motion picture soundtrack recording of Fiddler on the Roof, you could have had Anatevka, Do You Love Me, Far From the Home I Love, and Miracle of Miracles. The only scoring answers from that soundtrack were If I Were a Rich Man, Tradition, To Life, Matchmaker, Sabbath Prayer, and Sunrise Sunset. Very well done at home if you got a pointless answer.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you, Tom and Carol. I'm sorry you didn't win our jackpot today. That will therefore roll over onto the next show when we will be playing for £2,500. Join us then to see if someone can win it. Meanwhile, it's goodbye from Desiree.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.